I had to make it part 2 of this because what's the word? I jumped the gun on my reading. And so after what I had just read, it said further, they don't know how to interpret the sea of meaning they are experiencing. They tend to use the cultural metaphors and standards of normalcy they have internalized to explain what is happening, and the majority of which are inaccurate maps of the metaphysical background of the world. So these metaphors just don't work at orienting anybody like that may be struggling, or I say struggling, to orient themselves or the person in time, space, or meaning. So often they make things worse. So we often make things worse for ourselves because we are trying to interpret them with maps or metaphors by what is what's normalcy is considered, and therefore are inaccurate, and so we get lost. And so they say this often makes things worse. So it's a software problem that extends itself as well to the clinician. So few of those that treat the condition actually have access to what he calls the metaphysical background of the world themselves, or even understand what access to that world means. So in consequence, not only are the interpretations by schizophrenics of their meaning inflows crazy, so are the informational interventions by their caretakers. Very, very important. So not only are you feeling disoriented in understanding and putting meaning to what's happening, but the person trying to help you also does not understand this metaphysical background, and therefore, is just displacing you further from the case. And then he just says here, this behaviorally orients those with the kind of widely open sensory gating far outside the cultural norm. So in cultures that recognize the importance of this capacity, so like a schizophrenic, the group of people are trained to use their enhanced perceptual capacities for the benefit of the group. I hear this a lot in culture, or shamanic traditions and things like this, where if somebody is displaying a sort of capacity to perceive the world in a different way, they use those people from that perspective to help others kind of bring a new sense of perception to the world and to allow them to understand it better. I thought it was really cool. So anyways, yeah, I just wanted to, and they also say here, schizophrenic states, in fact, share a large number of common features with the experiential states generated by hallucinogens, which is just hallucinogens are an altered state of consciousness. And so therefore it's kind of interesting when you think about that, and what schizophrenic is. And so, yeah, anyhow, just thought that video would be a good follow-up. Much love.